Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today we're just going to be doing a quick motherboard swap between these two units. This is the original unit that I owned, and what happened basically is the voltage regulator circuitry on this was fried, um, most likely due to a custom charger that somebody was using on it. It wasn't me. I can say that in all honesty. But essentially, the repair would require micro soldering, and I don't have the utensils for that. So what I'm just going to be doing is taking the motherboard from this donor unit right here and just swapping it onto the unit that I have right here. Um, there's a couple things that are wrong with it, with the donor unit as well. There's like a crack. Cosmetically, it's not in as good condition as this unit, but functionally, this unit actually works. So I'm just going to remove the screws right here and do a little time lapse of the repair. So enjoy. Alright, moment of truth. Here we go. Alright, got a vibration and a blue light. That's a good sign. Alright, that's just an error. I'm not worried about that. Okay, light up keyboard works. Touch sensitivity. Alright, cool. So there's a little bit of glitching on the screen, but honestly, that's nothing I can't fix later. The unit is actually powering on, which is not something that it was doing before I did the board swap, so it's definitely an issue related to the motherboard. Like I said, probably a voltage regulator, or basically whatever's in charge of controlling how much power goes from the battery or from a charger to the battery. So anyway, I'm just going to turn it off real quick, and I'm going to put everything back together now. Alright, so SteamOS isn't really booting for some reason. To be fair, the SSD that it's trying to boot off of was originally in my other handheld PC, my Aya Neo, so some of the drivers might not be compatible. It was working previously with the Win 3, but for whatever reason it's not now. So I've replaced the NVMe drive that's in there with the one that this came with, which was preloaded with Windows 11. And I'm just going to show you that everything is working, you know, keyboard, touchscreen, all that. Click on that, you know, touchscreen. And for an LCD, it's actually not a terrible LCD. It looks pretty good. But yeah, you can see the capacitive touch keyboard lights up. You know, you put it down. Mouse mode, if I want to switch to that, I can. Just got to flip that switch up there. And now I should have the ability to use my mouse. I might have to connect the back of the unit before I can do that, actually, because of the way that the circuitry is wired. So let me try to do that real quick. It could also be the software. There is some software in here that you can use to change like the mouse speed and different actions. But yeah, okay, there's the mouse right there. So it could be that. I also have got it working on Linux though, so I don't think it's software. It could just be, so the wiring, if you can see that, it's a little dark now, but there are like pogo connectors right there. These back buttons can also be mapped to keyboard shortcuts. So I think it might have something to do with that. If not, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be playing your GPD Win 3 without the back on it anyway. So, yeah. But it was a pretty good repair. Nothing really went wrong, which was great. So I now have a working Win 3 again with better parts. I might swap the right trigger from the other GPD Win 3, the donor, with this one, because I do have a scratch on it, just to make it look a little better cosmetically. But other than that, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you learned a little something. If you ever need to do a board swap between your Win 3 and another Win 3, then there you go. That's how you do it.